What's up, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. And for those who are familiar with my channel, know me for reviewing sneakers. However, some of you may have noticed my comments on the Air Jordan 1 Next Chapter Miles Morales sneaker, or may have just noticed me wearing a bunch of Spider-Man tees on this channel. Anyways, the point being made is that I am an extremely passionate Spider-Man fan and have had love for the comic book hero for as long as I can remember. Now, with that intro out of the way, the goal of this video is to let y'all know why I believe Marvel Spider-Man 2 has the potential to be the greatest Spider-Man game ever made. From a storytelling perspective, combat, traversal other than the physics of course, scenery, score, and overall game design, the original Marvel Spider-Man had it all. Then when the second installment of the series, Miles Morales, came, the game developer Insomniac was able to build upon all of that. Well, other than the story, of course, because that storyline from the first game is probably one of the best Spider-Man storylines that I've ever witnessed. Either way, I love that Insomniac was able to give us a Spider-Man 1.5 to fill the void of a Spider-Man game until the next chronological sequel. Now, with Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out in the next couple of days, we are in the home stretch for peak fiction. I truly believe that Spider-Man 2 will surpass every Spider-Man game that came before it. From introducing the symbiote, to adding a darker tone to the story, which I love, revamping the combat, adding a parry system with new gadgets, upgrading the web swinging with new animations, new and improved air tricks, and the web wings. I think that this makes it literally impossible for Insomniac to miss the mark on this game because there's just way too many upgrades that makes the Spider-Man 2 game feel like a true sequel. So starting off with the story elements, I do want to give a spoiler warning before we go any further. For those who haven't played the first or Miles Morales game, or for those who just wants to go into Spider-Man 2 with no knowledge of anything. So now with that being said, Spider-Man 2 takes place about 10 months after the events of Miles Morales and approximately 3 years since the beginning of the first game, meaning that Peter is about 25 to 26 years old and Miles is around the age of 17 or 18 years old. With major story elements such as Peter taking ownership of Aunt May's house due to her passing in the first game and him struggling to pay the mortgage as a professor, while Miles is trying to figure himself out as a teenager, growing into adulthood, juggling being Spider-Man, and submitting a college essay. Boy, do I know about that. As well as dealing with the trauma of Martin Lee killing his father and knowing that he is somewhere out on the loose, we have a lot going on. Not even to mention that we finally have Harry getting on screen since he has been locked in the chamber with the symbiote while Norman was using it to try and heal his genetic disorder that his mother Emily Osborn passed away from, and Harry eventually finding out that Peter is Spider-Man a few hours into the game, as well as some hints from the developers that he may be this Spider-Man universe's Venom, which I don't fully believe. It does seem that Insomniac is going to hit us with an emotional roller coaster for this game, and personally, I am ready for it. Now, when looking at the symbiote's involvement in the story, I do believe that they made the right decision in making it an alien organism that crash landed onto Earth as shown in some of the promo videos. The story also seems to be following the basis that the symbiote does affect Peter's mood and makes him way more aggressive than he normally would be without the suit, to potentially losing himself as we saw MJ being scared to see him in one of the trailers. The only major question that I have about the symbiote is, will we see Peter become Venom temporarily like we did in the Ultimate Comics? And based on the most recent trailer that dropped, I do believe that it will happen. I also feel that Insomniac will be adding a Web of Shadows twist to the story by having Peter getting back involved with Black Cat due to the black suit messing with his emotions, which will cause a rift between him and MJ once again. One thing that I had hoped they'd add is the ability to switch between the red and black suit at the click of a button, but after seeing a video on Twitter, it basically confirmed that you can be in your red suit and choose to go in rage mode, which will give you the black suit to use. Anyways, it'll be very interesting to see what direction Insomniac goes in because they are known to take inspiration from the comics, but then add their own twist on things. When looking at the combat, there has been a total revamp from adding brand new special moves to the L1 button, then using the 4 face buttons such as X, square, circle, and triangle to execute that move, as well as using the R1 button and face buttons for a quick pick of what gadgets to use, and to me, this really keeps the immersion within the game. I'm sure that you can still hold the R1 button and have the wheel available for gadgets to choose from, but I do like this addition of the quick pick for gadgets. Also, as mentioned earlier, we now have a parry button, which adds another layer of technicality and skill to the combat system, which is a major plus to me. One of my favorite additions to the combat system is the fleshed out spider arms as opposed to the first game. and that they are taking a page out of the Web of Shadows combat for the symbiote suit. The suit gives us a feeling that it is a living organism due to its tendril-like abilities, which is a big positive and something that I look forward to using in the game. And the developers also said that you will be able to use the spider arm abilities with the black suit, so I'm excited to see how that combination will look once the game comes out. Next, we can briefly cover customization, and boy do we have a lot of it in this game. From the 65 costumes that we will be getting, plus the fact that most of these costumes have multiple color variants, we are just at the tip of the iceberg. As mentioned earlier in the combat portion, we will be able to map our favorite special moves to the L1 and phase buttons, and our favorite gadgets to the R1 and phase buttons. Also, as a consolation prize to all the web-swinging physics nerds, me included, Insomniac has added the ability to lower the level of swing assist. This is a win in my book because this means that web swinging physics can now be a part of the game and give less of that automation feel that the Insomniac web swinging gives. I doubt that the physics will be on the level of Spider-Man 2 from 2004, Ultimate Spider-Man, or Web of Shadows, but a win is a win in my book. And I was actually able to see some of the web swinging, and I'm not sure if the person had the sliders turned off, but it definitely seemed way more physics-based. Also, I saw the loop-de-loop, and it was amazing. The fact that when you swing and reach a peak point and the web line doesn't cut anymore like it did in the previous games is phenomenal. Peter and Miles is really able to swing in circles, and it didn't look automated at all, which was my favorite part. And oh my gosh, the web wings are just a masterpiece. When they showed it off at the June State of Play, I was in shock. And now it looks even more refined from the recent gameplay that I saw the loop-de-loop in. Unfortunately, that video was taken down, and I don't want to go searching for anything because I really don't want to be spoiled. But guys, don't worry because we are in for a treat with this game. And one more thing that I want to mention about traversal is that you'll be able to slide on the water in a very similar manner to the 2014 Insomniac game Sunset Overdrive, which was a banger of a game. And of course, if you haven't played that, I definitely recommend to. And my final minor complaints about the traversal is, can you finally run down or slide down walls instead of only up? And will there be wall combat like Web of Shadows? It is probably unlikely due to Insomniac having a whole different design philosophy and system as opposed to Web of Shadows, but we will see, because if my memory serves me correctly, the only instance that I remember seeing wall combat in the Marvel Spider-Man series is within the final boss fight of the first game between Doc Ock and Peter Parker fighting. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was about it. As I mentioned earlier, guys, there are a multitude of reasons as to why I believe that Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be the greatest Spider-Man game of all time. From the story, combat, customization, traversal, and overall game design, this really seems to be the peak of Spider-Man. I was literally writing the script right before that launch trailer came out, and now I'm even more hyped than ever. And I really hope that y'all are too. So with that being said, guys, I do hope that you liked this video overall. I really wanted to give my passion for Spider-Man a chance to put that content out there. So definitely let me know what you liked and what you didn't like about this video. And please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.